Hey guys, Toby Mathis here, one of the founding partners of Anderson Business Advisors. I'm an avid real estate investor with over 200 units nationwide, and our firm focuses solely on real estate and business investors. What we've found over the years is that asset protection for real estate investors is actually really simple when you back up and look at it from a 10,000 foot view. It's really easy to see. What we do is something called a risk reduction formula, and we break it into quadrants. And I'm just going to show you real simple how we do it. On this side, we have active activities. On this side, we have passive. On the active side, there might be me with my family, your house, your car, things that you personally own, right? Maybe your bank account. You have a few things. There's not a lot we're going to do over there that we can protect by using any structures to protect you from, right? You can't protect yourself from yourself. This is an active business, and we can protect the business. In that business, we can put a box around it. It's called a limited liability company or a corporation, limited partnership. It's an entity. I'm just going to call it a box. Then we look at our passive. In our passive, there's actually two categories, and I'm just going to use a different color here so that they really stand out. Passive is stocks, bonds, your cash, your savings, and this is non-risk. So I'm just going to call it non-risk assets up there. That's, again, your savings account, your brokerage account, your money market account, your bonds, your stocks, things that you own. And I'm not even going to worry about whether it's in a retirement plan or whatnot. We just know that we want to make sure that they're isolated from me personally. And we're going to have a box around those. You may have in a case of a retirement plan, like an IRA or a 401k, that may be a box around that just by the fact that you have it. So we're going to look at those, but we already know we have a box around. Generally speaking, the box around this one might be an LLC or a limited partnership, depending on what you're doing. And it's just putting a box around it, which brings us to our real estate. Real estate is always risk. There's really two types of real estate, though. We have our active real estate, and this would be flips, construction, development, stuff you're really doing. The real estate's not making the money, you're doing it, and you'd put a box around that. Same thing that you do with any active business. And then you have your rentals. And rentals are big, equal risk. I own a rental property. I could get sued just because I have that property. Someone comes on my property using trips. I have environmental claims. I have a claim from a neighbor for something that somebody did on that property. Whatever. I have risk just in owning it. And you're going to put a box around that. What's interesting is the next step, which a lot of people don't fully understand. If I put all of my rentals, let's say that I have a whole bunch of rentals in here, in one box, and something happens to one, it takes everything. So what you want to do when you're doing rentals is put boxes around each one, 1, 2, let's say I had 3 rentals, and then have those held by another box. I know I just made that super simple, but it works like a charm, right? And then what you own is the holding box, and everything in it is held by that box. So let's say I have an LLC, real simple. This would be what's called a holding LLC. And I'd have one holding LLC, preferably in a jurisdiction that they can't take it away from you. So we use Wyoming or Nevada for a number of reasons. You can come to our classes and you can learn the specifics. But we're going to make sure that you hold something that nobody can take away from you, so that no matter what happens, either in your life, let's say you have kids and they get into a car accident, or you get into a shout match with your neighbor and they sue you for defamation and they say, we're going to take everything you own. You don't have to worry about them touching your real estate. And on the same token is if you have something bad happen on a piece of real estate, it's stuck inside its one box and can't come out and contaminate your other pieces. More importantly, your stocks are safe. Nobody can touch them there. And your businesses are safe. Let's say that this is your maybe you're in an MLM and you're making lots of money. You can keep that separate from yourself. Same token, if you're flipping properties or developing properties, you can make sure that they don't cross over into your risk world of your other real estate. Make sure it doesn't come over to you and they're garnishing you for the rest of your life. Somebody asked me this once. They said, hey, I'm a doctor and I'm going to own a $50,000 rental in Indianapolis. What's the worst thing that could happen? And I said, well, that rental, somebody hurts themselves, you get a major lawsuit or there's mold or something and they allege something crazy and they garnish you the rest of your life. That's the worst that could happen unless you put that box around it. I hope that makes sense. So that's how we look at things. It's called the risk reduction formula. And it's what we do with all of our clients when we sit them down is we look and we just allocate the assets. And once you look at it, it's really clear. We want boxes here, here, and here. I can't put myself in a box because I'm out wandering around the world doing all sorts of stuff. All I can do is isolate my other assets. You do that, you're going to not have problems. It absolutely works like a charm. How do we know? Because we've been working with tens of thousands of investors for more than 2 decades. We've had major things that we've seen come across the desk. We're talking tens of millions of dollars. And guess who they never got? Guess who they didn't get to shake down? Our clients. Our clients are structured well so that they can minimize that risk, immediately get out of things, settle where there's liability like down here without having to worry about them looking at their total net worth and looking at all their other assets. So they're able to get out of things quickly, privately. And we have other strategies where we can keep your name out of a public record so we can avoid the suit entirely and leave them with this little world of a box if something actually happens so that they don't even get to go beyond it and see what else is out there. They don't even know who's behind it. And it prevents so many lawsuits. It prevents so much harassment that our clients just don't see a lot of this stuff. It's very, very rare. And this is what our guys do all the time. So it works like a charm. Do something like this and reap the rewards. You want to learn more? Click, please join us and learn about the different structures and how they can benefit you. And we haven't even touched on the tax benefits of putting a structure in place. Just from an asset protection standpoint, this is effective. But when you add in the other benefits, it can actually become pretty mind-numbing and saying, why the heck didn't anybody tell me about this sooner? So don't waste time. Click on the link and join us.